Have you ever heard that it's 20% mindset and 80% strategy or action? Because if you could have a great strategy or an action, but it can be totally ineffective if you don't have the right mindset. So if you're working really hard and not getting the results that you want, take a look at your mindset. So one of the things that I often see with ambitious professionals and executives is that they will get into overwhelm or procrastination, or they'll feel stuck because of a mindset issue. So this is Shannon Tran, and I want to share a quick way to fix your mindset so you can get unstuck and move forward really quickly. So you're able to get the maximum results for whatever it is that you are working on. So it's a great way to remove any obstacles, resistance, feelings of being stuck or confused or just uncertain. So the first step, and go ahead and get a paper and a pencil or pen so you can write this down. The first step is just to quickly identify, well, what's the problem? What do you see as the challenge? And write it down. Like maybe the challenge for you might be you're stuck at a certain income level, or you're not making the impact that you want, or you keep communicating in a specific way where people perceive it as aggressive or too passive, or you're caving under pressure. So just identify the specific problem for you so you're very clear about what it is, because clarity is what helps get things unstuck. So that's step one. The second step is identify the solution, and you don't have to overthink it. Typically, the solution is the opposite of what the problem or challenge is, right? So the solution could be, I'm asserting myself effectively, or the income is much easier, or I'm able to charge my rates. Like whatever your challenge is, the solution is going to be essentially the opposite of the challenge. So writing out what would be a simple solution. What would you have instead? What would you experience instead? And can you visualize that? Can you actually visualize it? Or is that where you're stuck? You can't even imagine the solution. So to make it simple for yourself, just identify what is the opposite to what you are experiencing now. And then the third step is start to brainstorm. So ask yourself, what belief must I be having to have this challenge, right? Do you believe that you're not capable of the income or the impact, or you don't see yourself as effective in your relationships, or you don't think you're worthy, or you don't think you're confident? Whatever the issue is for you, we want to identify what is that deep-rooted belief that's contributing to the challenge and problem that you're having. And a lot of times we don't recognize it because we're just going forward in our life and taking action without recognizing the thinking and the belief systems that are contributing to that action or inaction. So the third step is really asking yourself, okay, well, what would I need to believe in order to achieve this solution, this result? What would I need to start believing in myself, in the world, in my abilities, and start to form some empowering beliefs and see where you are. Do they feel very far from you? Do you feel like it's hard to buy into them? Do they feel impossible for you? So that is your mindset gap, right? That would be your mental gap, and what you would need to be working on to start to get unstuck from the mindset that you're in that's contributing to the challenge. So that's the third step, is starting to identify those deep-rooted beliefs, fears that you may have around your challenge, your goal. And then start to create a more empowering belief, right? Start to create a belief that is going to support what it is you're wanting to create in your life. And you may be far from it. So it could be just, I'm willing to believe. And that's all you can hold on until the stronger belief is anchored through practice, through affirmation, through whatever it is you need to do to strengthen your mindset. And then finally, start to create an action that's in alignment with that. And it may be that you're starting to create smaller action steps, or it could be you're asking for help, or it could be that you're adjusting the action that you were going to take. Perhaps you found a better solution. And this is the last thing that we often don't think about that I wanted to share, because usually when we feel stuck, it could be we have cross intentions without realizing it. So anytime we're making progress, right, positive change, it's still change. And so ask yourself, okay, what's the upside of this solution and what's the downside? So you may have heard the saying, new level, new devil, right? And for a lot of us, we just think that whatever the challenge is, when we overcome it, it's going to be great. But a lot of times we have these hidden, mixed, competing intentions. So do an intentional check. When you can mine out the hidden mixed intentions, the hidden fears, the hidden, how are you basically saying one thing and yet having a fear about something else or wanting something else. So that's the cleanup work that you must do, because if you're working against yourself, if you have a lot of mixed or hidden intentions, that is going to slow down your process. So whenever you're feeling stuck, whenever you're overthinking, just go ahead and go through this really quick exercise, and you will be amazed at how quickly you can get unstuck moving forward and at least see what the problem really is, so that you can come up with a solution that actually moves you forward. So as a quick recap, it's really a 6-step process. So the first step is write down the challenge. Be as clear and specific as possible. Could be you have more than one challenge, but start with one to reduce the overwhelm. 2, write down the solution. What is the opposite of the challenge? What would you be experiencing instead? And then 3, what are your beliefs around your challenge? Is that part of what is keeping you stuck? Do you have a lot of fears, negative beliefs, negative expectations around that challenge? And then 4th, what could you believe instead? 5 is taking that inspired action. So what action could you be taking to support the new belief, to support the new intention, to support the new expectation? And finally, 5 is checking all of your intention. So taking a real deep look internally, what is the upside of success and what's the downside? Like, what would you be giving up? And maybe you're going to be giving up procrastination, or maybe you're going to be giving up making excuses, or maybe you're going to be giving up people expecting less of you. Whatever it is for you, but it's very critical that you check that final check. What is the upside and what's the downside? And you would be amazed at some of the hidden expectations and intentions that we often have that we don't consider when we're going after our goals. So would love to hear how you found this helpful, this exercise, the difference that it made for you. And if you'd like more support, you can reach out to me at support@shannontranphd.com. Until then, go out there and achieve with ease. Bye for now.